Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here at VeChain, seeing what's going on. We had some invalidations, but also new validations. So it's really cool. We got to double check this here. I got some recent FID levels and some previous levels up. As we can kind of see here, the largest amount of volume is at that 2.82 mark. Or sorry, am I saying that right? Yeah, 2.82. And that is also a key Fibonacci retracement level on larger timeframes, okay? So it's important for us to be above that level. We can presume that 2.82 is a new support for us, okay? So it's just generally speaking how that works. We'll double check a few other things too. So with this here, let me get this loaded up for us. Oh, quick congrats to our community members too. Awesome stuff here. With our premium group here, we took some nice scalp. That was a short for Matic, 15%, but Chainlink, look at this here, taking off. 72% profit, all targets achieved in 5 days, and a previous link trade, 46% in 17 days. Okay, so we got a lot of good stuff going on here, but mostly Chainlink related. Okay, so again, be sure to check that out if you want. CryptoCash.tech is a site. Get a lot of new members coming over. Please make sure you read through our signals guide on our Discord so you know the difference between our day trades and our swing trades. They perform a lot differently. And if you don't read that, you're doing yourself a disservice because you need to know how I structure my trades. You should be able to apply your risk tolerance to that. Okay, that's generally the concept. So what we're looking at here for VeChain is on the backend data. We want to double check the larger time frames. We're going to look at the last 7 days just quickly to note. In the last 7 days, we've seen a lot of accumulation of volume just above and below the price action. Nothing too out of the ordinary. This is pretty standard stuff. So we're not going to focus on that too much. We're going to look at the monthly rather and see what larger liquidation levels tell us, okay? Because again, the monthly gives us a better perspective on last 3 to 4 weeks roughly worth of liquidation versus just recent. So again, you don't want to put your blinders on and just focus on the here and now. The past does have a tendency of helping us understand the future, right? So if we kind of look here in the relative recent past, we've seen a lot of liquidation at about 2.5. That's a strongish support level based on not only Fib, but that being a lowest point in which the price has gone recently. Furthermore, we can see some liquidation at about 3.1 upwards of 3.5. Okay, so this doesn't help us make a decision. It just kind of gives us understanding on the big picture, roughly where the amount of liquidation is hedged at. And 3.1 is a little ways away. Okay, so 3.1 is right up here. So we're not really close to any liquidation. I'm not super concerned with the price being heavily manipulated in either direction. Okay, now having said all that, let's take a look at the daily and kind of work our way down and see what we can extract with the time frames here, such as the daily time frame. So looking at this here, we're above the 20-day SMA. This is awesome news. It tells us we're above the descending trend now, and that we are more prone to increase than decrease. Me personally, when I'm above the 20 on both the daily and the 4-hour time frame, that gives me like a little bit of incentive to understand that, hey, this is a positive situation, and the likelihood of the further upside seems greater. Now, is it a guarantee? For sure not. No, you don't just take a long position right now because we're over the 20 and that's it, right? You look at everything too, but the truth is we're in good shape there. However, look at this. This is an interesting coincidence. The 50-day SMA hanging out right there at 3.1. We've identified there's a heavy amount of liquidation at that level. So that could very well be the next target for VeChain, right? Something to consider. Looking at the stochastic RSI, we're seeing a stochastic swing to the upside. We're under 50 on the RSI. That's not great, but we're getting close. So what that really just tells us here is that a closure above this, 2.9, basically just 3 cents even, would be a very, very good start. And the reason why that's beneficial is because we'd be over 50 on the RSI. We'd have higher money flow index by that point, and we'd still be converging on the MACD. And those are all things we want to look for. All right, so again, it's not a perfect situation here by any stretch, but it's more bullish than bearish. Okay, daily time frame is looking good. Me personally being above the 20-day SMA is a huge thing. Okay, so what's the 4-hour tell us? Well, it's a similar scenario. Only difference is we're under the 200-day SMA. Okay, that's not a great sign. Don't love to see that. It's commonly a rejection point. So the truth is the price could go sideways and down until it breaks through that level. But either way, when we retest that level, if we were to, we can expect some resistance initially. Having said that, stochastic RSI is swinging down, but money flow index is high. This really implies that the price action should be able to sustain itself. So when you have a lot of money flowing into a coin, then resistances or stochastic swings to the downside, these momentum shifts, don't shift as hard because there's money holding the price action in place. Obviously, Bitcoin has a massive dump, then we'll see money flowing out of this coin. And if that is the case, the price will go with it. Okay. So there's always a caveat to every one of these analysis that Bitcoin has a bad day, we're going to see it correct itself. So you got to be mindful of that and be aware of it. It sucks, but it's just kind of the way the market is. All right. So 4-hour time frame, last thing to summarize here with is TD sequential. We're at a 7. So we've been about 28 hours of continuation to the upside at this point, and a lot of times when you see a 9, it'll pull back. As you can see here, pulled back to a 9, hit a 9, coming back up to a 7. So we could see a pullback in the next 8 hours as a rough estimate, okay? That doesn't mean it's a guarantee. We have to get through this level here at 2.94 first. We can see somewhat of a resistance level where the price action couldn't pass that level. So we could pass it now. Overextension doesn't matter. It'll still hang out there and continue higher, okay? So truthfully, we're not in a position right now where we just gotta be like overly concerned, but we do also need to be mindful and just kind of prepared for the price to pull back to this lower fib level here, likely about 2.86 right there at that 0.236 fib. Okay, so all in all, that's kind of where we're at there. Hourly, just confirming we are bullish here still in good shape. We're above the cloud, conversion lines above the baseline, lagging spans free and clear. There's literally no reason to not take it or to consider a short position right now. Am I saying to go heavy with a long because I say don't take a short? No, I'm not saying that. Get that through your head. There are some folks that reach out to me later say, you told me not to short, so I took a long. You realize, folks, that there's a lot of gray areas in trading. I recognize the price either goes up or down. There's no other way around it. But 95% of trading is figuring out when not to take a trade, or convincing yourself not to take a trade versus taking one. And right now, we're a little bit on the overextended side to the upside. We could expect a pullback. I'd feel much more comfortable taking a long position in these two areas here between 2.83 and 2.87. Okay. Is it a guarantee it's going to pull back to that level? No, it'll probably continue higher. That's generally how this works. So if you do end up taking a trade right now, take a low position size, use some low leverage for a change, and make sure you're not destroying your portfolio. If you're getting sick and tired of taking some liquidation losses, you're doing it wrong. Every single trade that we take will never be liquidated because we structure it effectively to ensure we average in and out of our positions. And they're always 5x, 6x, or 7x leverage trades for my altcoins and 10x for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so I have a rule that I work within, and I never falter from that. Okay, I use the same amount every single time I take a trade. If you're using a different amount, you're basically gambling, and that's what gamblers do. They double down. They'll they'll go with this, this feeling. I'm on a hot streak. I'm going to win again. I mean, take a look at this here. For example, I've had some members that quit their membership because of that one trade, injective trade. We had one stop loss this month or last month in January, and they got so frustrated with the fact that it didn't work out that they discontinued their membership. You know how crazy that is? Look how much profit there is to be taken if you just follow the system. It's really simple, folks. Low leverage, low position size. 5x, 6x, okay, there was one 8x leverage trade for Matic, but generally speaking, you can see a consistency here. They're very low leverage, okay? And that keeps you surviving in the market, and that keeps you thriving in the market because you're not getting destroyed and giving up on your dream of making this a thing, if that is your thing, right? Maybe it's casual, I don't know. Either way, I hope you learned that from what I just mentioned. I hope that's a learning process. I always try to educate people if I can, and it's just frustrating to see some people not listen to my advice. They'll follow my signals, but they won't. They'll double down every time they take a trade. Like, oh, I just made 5,000. I'm gonna use that extra profit and put it in my new trade. I'm gonna trade with 10,000. I'm gonna trade with 20,000, 40, 80. No, folks. There's a process in which it will eventually hit home, and it's not gonna feel good. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm at here for VeChain. Hope you learned something here today. Thanks again for watching. To a lot of people that are asking, yes, this exchange is phenomenal. Be sure to use the link down below for Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange, highly recommended. I use my link down below. You'll get some nice rewards there. No KYC or VPN. They are an exceptional exchange. So thank you, Bitunix, for an awesome opportunity to our community. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next one. Take care.